All right, welcome. So this is a quick blockchain forensics presentation. My name is Brandon Lara. I am a Western New Mexico University student. So we'll go ahead and jump into this real quick. So blockchain technology is growing in use for various needs. Businesses are incorporating it into their operations, and users are transferring monies between peers. Whatever the use, blockchain provides a secure way of protecting the integrity of data being transferred. The data is unchangeable and records all transactions. There have been some incidents of criminality in blockchain use, but it is still premature. Agencies must use this time to develop and prepare for the future of criminalities. So blockchain technology is a type of distributed ledger. It is a decentralized network. The data is started with the original proof of work from the original participant in the peer-to-peer controlled network. So each block is created and linked using cryptographic links in the chain. Data is unchangeable, and it is also time-stamped with the information such as the user ID and location every time it is transferred between participants. So everyone knows Bitcoin, right? So a brief Bitcoin history. Bitcoin began in 2008 by pen name author Satoshi Nakamoto. Developed as a purely peer-to-peer controlled network, the cryptocurrency underwent rigorous market values by reaching record valuations over the years. It was remarkable, the valuation that it has received since its creation. So it definitely eliminates the need for a third-party institute such as a bank because it is peer-to-peer controlled. It has definitely grown in modern usage. In fact, many people have been incorporating it into their businesses as a method of payment. So some reasons for the blockchain forensics are going to be obviously the criminal misconduct, which is what I'm going to focus on. The financial fraud is one aspect, illegal pornography, and, trading information illegally. I'll talk briefly about a couple of cases. So the BitConnect scam and, the trading of illegal pornography. So the BitConnect scam, it was based on the BitConnect company, which is a financial institute. What they did was they enticed investors with promises of large returns on their investments, when in reality, all they ended up doing was defrauding thousands of investors worldwide. Regarding the illegal pornography, there was a research article recently published called A Quantitative Analysis of the Impact of Arbitrary Blockchain Content on Bitcoin. And their report states, and I quote, "Our analysis shows that certain content contains illegal pornography and can render the mere possession of the blockchain illegal. Most data originates from benign extensions. Our analysis reveals more than 1,600 files on the blockchain, over 99% of which are text or images. Among these files, there is a clearly objectionable content such as links to child pornography," end quote. Now, one thing I wanted to say about that real quick was that article, they decided to not cite the supported source for the illegal pornography based on ethical reasons. Understandably, of course. That is definitely a gray area that not everybody would like to, disclose over the web or in the media. But nonetheless, it was never confirmed by law enforcement, and it has yet to have been confirmed if it was child pornography. But moving on. So quickly, the technology for blockchain forensics. There are quite a few tool sets that have been released recently. It's relatively new technology, but Google's BigQuery Public Datasets program just recently released these 6 tools back in February, on February 5th of this year. The first one is Bitcoin Cash. Next one is Dash, Dogecoin, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, and Zcash. So there are a few methods for the blockchain investigations. This one is the forensic chain architecture. And quickly it goes over the participants. So these are all the factors associated with the architecture of this forensic chain. The participants which are the connected parties in the chain. The front end, which are developed with the help of the composer set service Yeoman framework to make the skeleton Angular application. Oops, I am sorry about that. Let me go back. Next, the core modules, which expedite the communications on the network. The blockchain network, which is the peer-to-peer network and consensus protocol to govern the communication between the peer-to-peer. And then the distributed evidence store, which is where the original data is safely secured with the required authorization and authentication module. So one independent acquisition that I've learned during my research, I reached out to a closed forum and I asked some investigators, what their methods for acquisition of information was, and one of them told me that what they did was they wrote data in Python. They took the data in JavaScript object notation, JSON, format from blockchain, that command there, using application programming interface, API. The program as output converted the data into comma-separated values, CSV format, and he read the files using Microsoft Access to prepare reports using queries. I wanted to go over the legal frameworks of the digital forensics. So it starts with the preparation, where the investigator recognizes the incident, selects tool sets and techniques, attains the appropriate authorization. Going on to the next step is going to be the search and seizure, which is where the investigator is going to recognize the evidence and seize the suspect devices. Next is going to be the preservation, where the investigator secures the evidence and protects the integrity of it. Then they're going to examine by duplicating the original data onto a secondary device to ensure that there is no corruption or loss of the original data. And then from there, they analyze the extracted data and determine significance. They also reconstruct fragments and they draw their professional conclusions. And then, of course, finalizing with the summarized reports of the collected information, the evidence, and the conclusory findings for the appropriate parties, for example, law enforcement, court, prosecutors, etc., whoever may have hired the investigator, or internally, of course. All right, there it is. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. So the blockchain poses many benefits to the operations of companies, as well as direct user transactions between peers to peer. As technologies develop, so do tools and methods for wrongdoers to commit crimes. Blockchains are still premature in many aspects. This is why it is imperative that law enforcement and independent agencies, such as digital forensic consulting firms, develop tools and methods to prepare for the future of criminalities. Blockchain technology is the future. The future is here. Thank you. Stay tuned for the resources. References.